Alrighty, what is up guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. Smash the like button if you enjoy the video and check out the Aldo Empire VIP Discord down below. We've got a lot to talk about today, guys, so a lot of important stuff, especially for long-term accumulation. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Total, Solana, Cardano. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, the DXY. This is a really important video. So what I want to start off here is ultimately, what we could see here. So we're looking at the monthly right now on Bitcoin here. We got a trigger wave to the downside. It's a red dot. And if you look at these EMAs in Market Cipher, they may get to being all gray relatively soon. Now, that could happen as on this next candle close. That could happen October 1st when we see this next candle close. That's when I think, if it could take longer, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know if, maybe September will be more sideways around 25K for a while. Then we break down farther in October, November, that kind of area. We don't know how long it's going to take. My guess, based on how everything looks right now, is we could continue down farther in the coming weeks. And I do think that ultimately, when you get down to these lower areas, the low 20s, that's going to be a really, really good buying opportunity for Bitcoin and a really good buying opportunity for Ethereum and a lot of altcoins in general. Now, obviously, we all know for long term, just buying all at once usually doesn't work too well. Just panic buying or panic selling, usually it doesn't work too well. But historically, if you start to DCA in, I don't think September, I don't think right now is the worst place to be DCAing in 25K or even the altcoins. I don't think it's the worst possible place to DCA in, especially if you're going to go until pre-halving, especially if you're going to go until March. I don't think it's the worst place, but I do think that it's probably a better time to start in October, about a month from now. Not financial advice though, as always. If you look at ultimately, this red dot here, we came down farther. This confirmed, and we came down farther, doing it from, the kind of the top there, get an estimate of where we can end up. This would be pointing to November. Now, November, that would be 18K. My guess is high teens, low 20s is where we're going to bottom out unless something crazy happens. The other thing, too, here is that, if you look, it was two more red candles. Also, we hit our bottom in November. Exactly a year later would be November. So a lot of things point to November here. Also, and the reason why that's relevant is because December, look, bottom was in December here, and then exactly a year later, if you don't count the pandemic, that was the bottom, December 2019. So there's that kind of historical pattern there, and that's ultimately what we're looking at right now. If you also want to look at the 3-week, not good. This confirms in 8 days. I would at least be waiting for this to kind of confirm to see how this plays out over the next week, because sometimes these big moves happen quickly. We could be at 23K potentially before you know it based on this. Now, also, what I'm looking at on the weekly here, weekly to potentially come into the red, that could be another place to start DCAing in. I haven't been buying any crypto since we crossed into the green here. So far, worked really well. Hopefully, this comes back into the red and we're back at maybe 23K, somewhere like that. Then, for that once every 4-year opportunity, DCA into altcoins, DCA into ETH, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's move on to some of the shorter term for Bitcoin right now. So you got a 3-day red dot, so kind of invalidating the green dot right here, the anchor wave right here, potentially looking like those RSIs want to point down and curve down lower. If you lose where we are generally right now, huge place at 25.3. If you lose that, you got some support, mid 24s. There's a bit, kind of that low over there. After that, it's probably like low 23s is going to be the big place. You could potentially get to low 23s by the end of the month, within the next few weeks here. So keep that in mind. Very bearish on the macro. Still is. Money flow looks like it wants to come deeper on the 2-day. So that relatively looks pretty bearish as well. Confirmed blood diamond on the daily. Same type of thing there. 12-hour. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because the 12-hour, you're coming up with the trigger wave. Potentially, what we could see is something like this. You get a little jump up. Maybe you jump back up to, this is a huge, huge point if we zoom in here, 26.2, 26.3, this old volume area low. Could get a jump up to that area and then potentially reject harshly and then finally lose this big area that we bounced up 1, 2, 3 times right now. If we look at some of the lower time frames, you got a trigger wave confirmed, money flow coming up in the 6-hour. I wouldn't get too cocky with this. We're kind of rejecting from, the local volume area low right now. Also rejecting from that spider line. Money flow looks like it might want to come down deeper on some of these time frames. Also, you're on the weekend right now, so We are hitting this spider line. This could be a jump up. If you do see, it would be a little bit of a risky play. I feel like anything on the weekends is always a little bit risky, but some bullish divs, not seeing it yet. If we could get some bullish divs in some of these low time frames, trigger waves, potentially we could jump up a bit here. It depends, but I think for a lot of reasons, this market is pretty weak. I want to see us definitely, jump back above this 25.8 before I would turn a little bit more bullish here. Maybe even look for, a money flow crossover in this hourly to potentially go along. That's what I'd be looking for here. I've been mainly shorting ETH. ETH has been a nice one to trade lately. If you guys saw the live streams, been shorting ETH. That's been doing really well. Been adding to those, positions on the way down, kind of risk-free, which is doing phenomenal, which is doing great. And if you guys are interested in trading, if you guys are experienced traders, check out FAIRDESK down below. They are great. We're going to get probably a new promo going on with them. But the latest promos that are really good are with MEXC and FAIRDESK right now. FAIRDESK, every week, one person who deposits any amount, signs up my link and deposits any amount and does one futures trade will be entered to win a $100 trading bonus. But it's like the odds are really good because it's only people who sign up my link. So usually it's only a couple people, you know what I mean? You got a really good odds there. Same thing for MEXC. The only difference is you do have to deposit at least $100. I believe you get a $200 trading bonus. That one ends in a couple days. Both of those excellent exchanges, especially if you don't want to have to do KYC, so check them out down below. Moving on here. So that's basically Bitcoin right now. If we move on to Ethereum, just on the macro here, red dot on monthly Heiken Ashes, confirmed blood diamond on regular candles here. And if you look at this, I mean, this looks like, interesting how you get a red X right before that. This seems like you're going to fulfill this Wyckoff kind of thing and go potentially bottom out, October, November or something, back down to like 12, 1300 and, potentially even lower lows, who knows. But I think if we could come down to 1300, come down just a bit more in the next few weeks, that's where you start to kind of DCA into Ethereum, because I like 13 or 1200 a lot better than I like 1600. 1600 feels kind of high to me. And, historically, September being such a red month, I personally, if you're DCAing now, not the worst idea, I don't think, but I think it's just better for me personally. This is what I'm doing. Wait till October, wait just a few more weeks here. We're just almost there, you know what I mean? And you're looking also on this weekly, these EMAs could turn gray relatively soon. I'm curious about how are the monthly ones. Yeah, I mean, that could be the first time they all turn gray here as we kind of come down, but that may mark the bottom towards the end of the year here. Weekly also another thing to potentially wait for this weekly to come into the red right here to start DCAing back in. And if we do come into the red, that may only be in a few weeks. It could be a couple more candles if we do continue down farther, which I think there's a good shot we might. Now, moving on to a marked up chart on ETH. VWAP coming down, very similar to Bitcoin. Nothing looking too promising at the moment. Daily not looking good. Money flow still coming out there. But as you get onto the 16-hour, if we confirm here, you're going to confirm, potentially a bullish div, trigger wave type thing. Money flow coming up, not bad. Same deal with the 12-hour. If we look at some of these ones, same deal. 6-hour money flow coming up, but be careful. It is the weekend, and we're rejecting from the old volume area low right there, which is not a good sign, so far. Not a good sign so far. So tough to say. I mean, blood diamond on the 2-hour, trigger wave on the 2-hour doesn't look the best there. If I had to guess for more of the shorter term, man, it's a weekend. A little tough to say. And you're also hitting a spiral line in ETH as well as Bitcoin. It would be risky. You could try to ride one of these trigger waves, bullish divs in these lower time frames or something. If we do see it, you could try to ride one of them up. It does look likely you may see some type of reaction off at this point, but yeah, I kind of am feeling like you're just going to keep going down. Now, this is going to be, if you break ascending wedge, you break down, your technical target's going to be at this old, kind of low right here, 1540. After that, you got 14, 15 even. And then our good area, this would be the prime area that hopefully it would be really nice if we could get down there within the next few weeks. 1300, huge place to look to DCA into, guys. Look to start DCAing in. That would be if we hit that, start in October, 1300, October to March, just excellent, excellent time for some incredible gains. And you'll get some good, especially if we do go lower, 800 or something, you'll get some excellent exposure too. Regardless, I think that's going to be the real area. Now, if we move on to let's just look at total market cap, very similar to Bitcoin here, red dot in the monthly. Wait till that confirms. I would say wait till that confirms. You'll come down a bit lower. I mean, if it's like that when you're going straight high, but that was sky high, but that was a while ago. I mean, yeah. The other one that's interesting to look at as well is I was looking at total 2. And this is, if we just look at this, this could be in kind of a Wyckoff 2, triple type bottom thing, potentially a lower low. 400 billion if we come down a bit more. But the next kind of bull div on a lot of these could give us what we need for a bottom. Now, you may not see that until November, December, though. So you may not see that for a few more months. But yeah, that's ultimately what I'm looking at in total 2. And total 3 is total crypto market cap, without Bitcoin or Ethereum. This one could make like a lower low because this one did make a lower low here in this bear market. See that lower low? And you could break down and go even, maybe 200 something billion if things get really, really potentially really ugly here. Not looking good so far, but maybe the 3-week next bull div, that could take a month or two to happen. Maybe the next monthly bull div. That's what we're looking at for a potential kind of bottom here. So yeah. And if we look at like Solana, a lot of these altcoins, pretty weak, I would say. Ultimately, I got rid of market side for A by accident on this one. But anyway, if you look at these gapped RSIs, trigger wave to the downside, it's looking like probably something October, November for this. See, if you look at how this RSI could go October, November, and you probably are going to mess around with 14, mess around with these low areas again, 13, 14, most likely. In my opinion, that's going to be the excellent place to start to DCA in. And maybe this will be like, kind of Cardano in the next bull run, like how, maybe even making a new all-time high, maybe get them to 300 or 400 or something. Who knows? I mean, crypto's crazy. It could do some crazy stuff. I kind of don't think you're going to go get a 40x from here, but who knows? So yeah, and if we move on to Cardano, another yellow X in the 2-day. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. One of those market cipher strategies, look for 4 or 5 yellow X's, then sell exhaustion. So maybe one more last drop down to 15 cents in the next few months, and then that's going to be your big area. Another thing I don't like is AVAX. Well, I like AVAX, but I don't like how it looks in the charts right now. Just casually losing $10, showing that this is something that kind of wants to be, below $10. And we do have a lot of good trade setups. If you guys are interested in the Discord, I've been doing a lot of, good swing trade setups. Been short on Litecoin for a while now, so it's been doing really well. A lot of really good swing short opportunities. More details on that, link down below. And the last thing I'll show you guys today is the DXY right now. So on the monthly on the DXY, if you look here, trigger wave right now. Last time this happened, February 1999, it was on the monthly, it was a while ago, 33% jump. Time before that, 89, 17% jump. Now, I don't think it's likely we're going to see a 34% jump from this bottom, but what could we see? Maybe a double top, 115, maybe even potentially a higher high if the S&P 500 does make a lower low. Early next year, that could be possible. Keep in mind, guys, Bitcoin tends to bottom out before the S&P 500. So if the S&P 500 is making lower lows in, I don't know, March, April, most likely Bitcoin would be, kind of bottomed out earlier than that. So that's kind of a good sign. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys are interested in trading, check out the links down below. If you're an experienced trader, a lot of really good promos I worked hard to get for you guys. And yeah, check out the Discord as well. Me and 3 other pro analysts, we do incredible in there. And smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.